Design and Historic Review Commission. It is Thursday, January 16th. It is 10:06. Before we start, if you could please place your phones, your cellular phones on silent or vibrate. Thank you. We will call this meeting to order, and we establish that we do have a quorum. Our first order of business is the nominations for chairperson and vice chairperson. So if somebody would like to nominate someone we'll start with chairperson first.
I'd like to nominate David Majura for chairperson.
Okay. Can we get a second?
I'll second that nomination.
Okay, do we need a vote on separately, or do each one separate?
I believe that you can just take a vote as you normally would on each item of action.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor? And I can vote for myself.
Aye.
That's what I was told. Since we don't have
Mr. Chairman, I believe that you can vote for yourself. It would be equivalent to an acceptance.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. We will go now to the vice chairperson. We can get a nomination.
I'll nominate Stacy Elkins for vice.
I'll second that nomination.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we will now move to public comment. Issues or concerns not on the regular agenda may be raised by the public at this time. Citizens should speak from the podium, address all comments to the dais, and begin by stating their name and address or single-member district. Please limit all remarks to less than 3 minutes.
We don't have any public comment?
We don't?
No, sir.
Okay. We will now move to the consent agenda. Consideration of December 19, 2024 Design and Review Commission meeting minutes. Are we just doing that one, or, okay. Can I get a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
passes. Okay, we'll now move to our regular agenda. RC 24-22, 810 East Highland, a request for approval of solar panels installed on the roof of a home located at 810 East Highland Boulevard within the River Corridor Overlay Zone.
Thank you. Austin Reed, planner. This request comes to you out of District Number 3, Harry Thomas's district. We are in the Fort Concho neighborhood. The zoning here is RS1, and the lot itself is 2 acres. You can see from the green, we are located in the River Corridor Overlay Zone. And what they're doing is installing new solar panels. Here we have a site plan. The solar panels are indicated in blue. You can see the house is 300 or 400 feet away from the river. Here's a closer look at the solar panels. You can see they'll be located along the front and the side of the house. And then here's photos of what the house looks like from the street. So they will be visible from the right-of-way there along the front and the right side. We don't think that this detracts from the aesthetics of the area, so we are recommending approval subject to our one usual condition that the colors, dimensions, and materials of all improvements are consistent with what you approve here today. So if you have any questions.
Any questions for staff? Nope. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So we have no public comment on this, so we will take it to a vote. I looked at it. I mean, it's set way back. There's a lot of property around it. The only other problem we've had, not a problem, but an issue with solar panels in the DHRC zone, if it's on a historical building, when we did the one over on South Park, and this was approved. The good thing about this one, they haven't put them on yet, so.
Well, there are some on it. They're existing panels. When I went by there.
No, not on this one. I looked at it, unless they put them on
There
yesterday.
appeared to be some on the neighboring property, but when I went out there last week, there weren't any.
Yeah, I saw, there was some on the,
What's the color of this house? Is it white with red trim?
no.
Okay, then
Yeah,
that is a
but-
neighbor.
Yeah, I saw that one you're looking
Yeah.
at, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can I get a motion to, or is there any
So
discussion? Okay,
Move to accept.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye, motion passes. Okay, we will now move on to RC 24-23. I gotta put my glasses on.
Hi, Kim Garmany, Planning
Oh,
and Development
can I didn't-
Services. Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
501, sorry.
I was so excited.
501 Bryant Boulevard, request for approval of a temporary building at Cartown Hyundai within the River Corridor Overlay Zone. Sorry.
Thank you. No, I'm sorry. Kim Garmany. We're in District 3, the downtown neighborhood. You all have seen Cartown Hyundai has come to you in the past. They are remodeling. They do have a temporary building there on the property that was not approved here at DHRC, so they're coming for approval to make that right. They are in the river corridor. On the right, you see the existing temporary building that is currently in the parking lot. And on the left, although it looks upside down, if you're standing on Bryant looking at the property, the main building that's being remodeled is there on the right, and then the temporary building is there in the middle of the parking lot. It is a spec building, I think that's what they're called. A temporary building that they're officing out of. When I spoke with the employees, they expect that the building will be gone in April or May. So we are recommending to approve this with the condition that they do go on ahead and get the necessary permits and that they don't have that temporary building on the property for more than 12 months.
Okay, that was my question, of a time frame, so that is set in the document saying that once they're finished, what I would like to see on it is once they get their final inspection on the remodel they're doing now, could we put on there like 60 days after that process that building has to be moved? I mean, is that something we could do? Because you have on there for no more than 12 months. That way we would have some leeway saying, once they're completely finished with their remodel, they got a final inspection, so that means they're done. We could put on there 60 days from that date, that building has to be moved.
I believe
Is
that is
that-
a condition that you can add here whenever you make that motion. I believe you can add a condition. I'm going to look at.
This way it shows 12 months, but
Yes, sir.
from what time frame?
Exactly.
See?
The building has been there,
I think
and
the
so
building's
that
fine. It looks like they're moving along real good. I just would
Wanna
like to have something
constrain
in
it a
there that
little
says,
more.
look, once they're done, it needs to be moved.
that makes total sense. I think you all can add that condition to give
Is
it
that
more of a boundary.
Conducive to the board?
So we're talking like a
Otherwise,
60-day period?
yeah, once their final inspection's done, they don't need that, I just think there needs to be something, because that thing could just sit there for forever. We have no recourse on it, really.
So would it be once they get their certificate of occupancy?
Yes, correct. Okay.
You could also condition it to 60 days after they receive their CO.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. All right, thank you. So we have no public comment on this? Okay, so open it to the board. Is that, somebody like to make a motion with that stipulation in it?
I move that we say that the temporary building needs to be removed 60 days after getting the certificate of occupancy.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Okay, well, we will now move on to our next case, DD 24-17, 2 North Coinheim, a request for approval of a monument sign at the corner of North Coinheim and West Terrace within the downtown overlay zone.
Good morning, Ray Lineberry, planner. And this one is in District 3, Harry Thomas. We have seen this recently. They got permission for the canopy and redoing the face of the big sign back in that area. And now they've come forward for a monument sign. And so this is CBD. It is just the downtown overlay. It is not historic. This is an example. The monument sign will be there right there at the edge. Right now, you guys are only approving the way that the sign looks. They are currently working with staff on the placement of the sign. But if you notice, there is some of the brick on the bottom. Otherwise, it is a brand on the top. A picture of it? Oh. Should be a recommendation. Okay. Staff is recommending approval with the
Okay.
two conditions, that they stay with what was approved here and that they get any necessary building permits.
Okay. And so, just so the board understands, we're just doing the design on the sign, not the location of
Correct.
it. Any questions
better.
for staff?
Does it have lighting? Is it lit? Or like
Yeah.
bright at night?
Yes.
Yeah.
They did one the same way on the one over on Knickerbocker.
Yes.
It's the same deal, it's just this is in the DHRC zone. Okay. Any other questions?
Are there other monument signs like this?
The Schlotchke's right across the street has one.
As one?
Yes.
And so that's rock. It's built out of rock.
It is.
I like
Picture that, sorry.
Add.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Okay, we have any public comment on this?
Yes, sir, we do. Kendall Robinson.
Okay.
Kendall Robinson with Print Signs. I do also have some printed out copies if y'all would rather look at paper instead of on the screen. No? Y'all were asking about the rock on the bottom. It'll be of the stone veneer to match the building exactly. So we want to keep it looking identical to what's in that area. The same design and color scheme that you would see on the one at Knickerbocker that we just recently did, other than this one's significantly smaller. Overall height's only going to be 10 foot. The digits and the sign is going to be significantly smaller than what you see at the other location. It will be illuminated, the cabinets will be illuminated only off of a timer to where it's only lit at night, and then the digits will be lit 24/7. Are there any questions on it I could help with?
And the biggest deal is Chevron, they don't want to put them on the canopies anymore, correct? Is that why
Correct.
you're?
Chevron doesn't approve digits on canopies.
Yeah, and I know y'all have another sign back behind it, but it's within 200 feet of this one, so you can't. So why wouldn't they want to put it up on, they just don't want them up on a,
It's just not, being the size of the organization they are, they have strict standards just to prevent people from all over the U.S. Just not having that standard that when you're rolling down the road and you see a Chevron, you know it's a Chevron.
Yeah.
If you don't have some kind of standard in place, then you end up with some smaller, especially smaller cities or people that have a larger influence on Chevron trying to go outside the norm and do whatever they want.
what are they going to do with that other sign?
As of right now, that's a whole nother conversation we're having with the city as to whether or not
They're
we're
going to
going
take it
to
down or not?
get rid of that or work something out to try to get to both.
Yeah, because I know
So-
they're questioning of the direction of that sign too.
Yes, sir.
But if they took the other one down, couldn't you move that one? So that way you're not within 200 feet of the other?
If we take, the property's not large enough to move it anywhere else on the property with it to
Yeah.
be outside that distance. So as of this moment, it stands that we'll only have to have one and something changes.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions for, nope. All right, thank you, sir.
Is the sign at Schlotsky's 10 feet tall?
Is it what?
The sign at Schlotsky's, is it 10 feet tall?
I don't believe
No.
we're aware of the exact height, but I don't believe that it is.
No, it's not. It's not, and it's catty-cornered on the property.
And that's the only other example that we have. I mean, that's the only other precedent that we have. Is that Schlotsky's that we know of?
Not that I know of,
Right, in the downtown overlay.
yeah. Yeah, it's not 10 foot, I know it's not.
It's pretty.
But
big.
think about it, the thing almost has to be that big because the cars are gonna be coming up. The issue is, which we're not voting on or anything, is the fact that they wanted it to face Coinheim.
Yeah.
And you can't do that because it's within 200 feet of that other sign. So you can't have two signs within 200 feet of each other.
Right.
That's the problem. So the city is making them turn it where it's gonna face Harris, which doesn't really make sense to me, but that's their issue.
Could you elbow it and just have two?
Well, that's
and
what I
make
mean,
them
if they did it
smaller
on an
and-
angle, which that's not our deal. All we're voting on is the design of the sign, so we need to stay
Yes, sir,
focused
and
on
we're
that.
following ordinance when we
Yes,
do that. It's-
that's-
It's very clearly laid out in ordinance.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
that's the city permit people. So, somebody like to make a motion for or against this? I mean, I think a lot of it, my thinking is, Chevron, a lot of the companies are that way. That's their brand. We're just gonna have to work with some of that stuff. And I think it looks good. I mean, it matches the brick, the rock on the bottom. I don't really have a problem with it. I think really it looks better being down low than having all these signs way up high. It just kind of congests the neighborhood to me. I kind of like it,
Yeah, I appreciate the height of it.
yeah. Somebody like to make a motion?
I move that we approve.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye. We have four, and one abstain. So, motion, no, let's see, we have 5 people. We gotta have 5 to, we have to have a full.
Mr. Chairman, according to the City Code of Ordinance, Section 2.07.066, 5 regular members of the commission shall constitute a quorum. The affirmative vote of 4 members is required to approve any item brought before the commission. So I believe, according to the City Code of Ordinance, if we have the affirmative vote of 4 members,
Okay.
then the item brought before the commission is approved.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, because I think if we had 6, we would need 5. We only have 5 here. Okay, motion passes. Okay, we will now move on to our next agenda item. CA 24-14 West Terrace, a request for approval to demolish a portion of the Standard Times building located in the historic overlay zone that was damaged in a storm.
Hello, Kim Garmany again, Planning and Development Services Administrator. This building is owned by the city, and a portion of it, specifically 14 West Harris, was damaged in a recent storm. I believe it was about a month and a half ago. It was deemed a health and safety risk by the building official and the fire marshal, and so a portion of it has been demolished to bring it into a safe realm for right now. There's also a fence around this area, so it's not accessible by the public until it can be further assessed. We're recommending that we go on ahead and approve this request to demolish the portion of the building that was damaged in the storm, and with the condition that the city does go on ahead and get the correct permits from the Permitting and Inspections Department.
So has it already been demolished?
Yes, sir. The portion, if we go back,
So this piece that's exposed that we're looking at, how that's gonna remain for the time being? Or
For-
is that going to be, is any of what we're looking at gonna be demolished?
I'm not 100% sure. For the time being, it is like this. In my staff report, I did recommend or say that there's likely going to be another portion that will need to be demolished after they assess it more thoroughly.
No, I mean, I'm sorry, what, are we approving what has been demolished already, or are we approving further demolition?
What has been demolished already?
And I looked at it, I think that's all it's gonna be right there. That roof and all that caved in, you can see where that wall fell down. So,
Started on the back corner. That was the first failure.
yeah. And I think there's some, conversation about when it's an emergency situation like that it doesn't have to go before our board to make it safe to the public and all
No, I
that.
don't have any
Yeah,
objection, I don't have any
yeah.
objection, I was just asking if we're, what we
Yeah,
were
no, I
approving
think
and
it's just
if
that,
if they were gonna keep going.
yeah.
I mean, that, the rest of that wall is kind of hanging out unsupported. looks a little problematic.
Yeah,
But I'll leave that to somebody else.
okay.
And so the assumption would be that if there's further work done, that we would get that application before you all, to you before it happened. We're trying to make sure that we all follow the same rules and regulations that are set forth for everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, somebody like to make a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve the demolition that's already happened.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Luke and Donna, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move on to our next, let's see, that would be, okay, now this is just going to be a discussion of the downtown banners, a discussion item concerning banners on Irving, Concho, and Chadburn Street.
Hello, good morning. Monica Ramos, Executive Director of Downtown San Angelo. We're really excited to bring this project to you and let you know what we've been working on. We've actually had this in the works for about 2 years now, and we're finally getting to near completion. The next step is the installation, but we wanted to showcase this to you as a courtesy so that you know what we're up to and what this project is all about. Last year, we celebrated 20 years of the organization. So the title is fitting, Celebrating Downtown. It's about our organization, but as well as everyone that has contributed to making downtown grow over the past 20 years and beyond. We've seen a lot of changes that have happened and a lot of great things that have popped up. So these banners will celebrate our most important aspects of our downtown and then a few important aspects of San Angelo as well. The overall goal of the banners is to enhance the visual appeal of our downtown. We have the new streetscape and the new street lighting, so this will definitely complement those new additions that we already have. In 2008, Downtown's Design Committee put forth the first banners, which we called them a walk-through time banners. These banners were red with black and white photographs of the nearby property with the existing, at that time back then, the photograph of what that business was back then, and it had a short description as well. These banners have since then weathered away. They've been torn and tattered and faded because this project started a long time ago. I want to say they lasted about 8 years until they all finally came down. There might be about 1 or 2 that are still up. So this is perfect timing for us to completely remove any that are still standing and replace them with some new vibrancy. We definitely want to bring the project back to life. And as you see here in the examples, these are what the banners will look like. There's a total of 40. We carefully went through and made sure that we highlighted all important elements of downtown. So you see Paintbrush Alley, you see some of the museums, City Hall, our designations. They signify our cultural activities as well. Of course, the Sheep Spectacular, the Concho Pearls. It's all on here. We presented these to the Public Arts Commission. We asked for suggestions of any additional elements, and I'm pretty sure we touched on all of them. And they were in favor of this project. They absolutely loved it. Media Advantage designed the banners for us. And so I think they look really great, and they really, again, add this visual appeal to downtown. And this is something that's great for tourists as well as locals. It increases the walkability of downtown. It keeps all of these activities top of mind, and it lets people have that awareness and be able to be in the know of what we have to offer in our downtown. We tend to forget about it because we live here, but this is a reminder of all the great things and activities that we have here in San Angelo. I included an example of some of the existing street lighting that we have because, of course, we have studied this and we've been working on this. And so we know that we have some older street lighting to work with as well as the new street lighting, and Fast Signs has been working with us as well. And they sent over an example of some of the hardware that will match the new street lighting. So that's wonderful, so that we keep a nice, clean design. We're part of the Main Street program, so I do want to mention this before I end this presentation. We have 16 years of accreditation, and this is really important to our city. San Angelo has this accreditation. We're part of this Main Street program that other main cities participate in across the country. And so having this accreditation really is significant to our city, and it really means that we're doing well with what we're doing with our downtown. And so this is the next step of adding to one of the framework points, actually two of the frameworks. There's design and promotion. These banners fall into both categories, and design and promotion are a stepping stone to ensuring that we're keeping our downtown healthy and that we're working towards economic vitality. So this fits in perfectly with what we should be doing to help our downtown thrive. Do you have any comments or questions for me?
I think it looks great. I really like the colors. Are they gonna be just on the new poles, or are they gonna be on other poles too, or?
There will be other poles, so we chose Tewig, Chadburn, Concho, of course, and Irving. We kind of kept it in the core of downtown. We did take a look at Beauregard and, of course, the northern part of Chadburn. However, we did take into consideration that there's going to be some new lighting there soon and sidewalks. So we wanted to just start here with the few streets that we have currently, and then that could be a future project once those new street lights come up and the sidewalks are completed. Then we could start a second phase and add to in the future.
When will they start putting them up? When's this gonna happen?
These banners, well, we have a presentation to City Council next week. And then after that, we will pull that trigger for Fast Signs to go ahead and print and have the designs ready and start the installation.
What are the dimensions again?
24 by 52. They're pretty large. Of course, they'll be out of
They're a lot
reach.
bigger than like what they did on North Chadburn. That's, they have some banners on that way down there by Texas Bank on those new poles. So these are quite a bit bigger.
And there'll be just one banner per pole, not like you have, in the red ones, there were two.
Right, we'll have one,
Just
and we'll rely on Fast Signs to help us determine as far as the facing, because I know that on the entrance of Concho and Koningheim, those banners would need to be on the sidewalk side. I believe that's correct, on the sidewalk side, just because there's an extra arm that hangs off of those lights. So we'll work with Fast Signs to help us organize the placement on the poles. But we know which poles that we're looking at that we want them on. And we were kind of selective with which banner goes where as well.
So none of them will really say like Fuentes Cafe, wouldn't have a Fuentes Cafe logo on it or anything?
No
They're just
businesses,
generic?
no
They're-
businesses on these. Yeah, we
Okay.
kept it open. I mean, of course, you might see City Hall or like the Railway Museum, but these are like landmarks. These are special spots. These are touristy locations that we want to showcase to people that visit San Angelo so that they're aware that these activities and locations are available.
Yeah, I noticed some of them says like Railroad Museum, and it seemed like that's specific, but I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, I like them.
I think
the
we
colors look
included all
great.
the major locations as far as, like you mentioned, Railway Museum, Fort Concho, the Performing Arts Center, but left out the smaller businesses, like the boutiques and the restaurants. We couldn't possibly, I mean, maybe we could, but that would be over 200 banners to put up if we did consider putting up a banner for each business. But there might be opportunity for that later on in the future as far as sponsorship if a business really did want to have their information on one of the banners. But this is our start. And again, I love this just because this is something for everyone. This is a draw for the entire downtown neighborhood. So this benefits everyone in the community.
Like it, seemed like you'd liven it up down there with the colors.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Good
can't
job.
wait for spring and summer to come around because these are really going to pop and enhance the area.
Any questions for Monica? No? Good job.
Thank you.
We're excited.
And we do have Andy Marquis for public comment.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Andy Marquis, Vice President of Downtown San Angelo and also Media Director for Media Advantage. We're so happy that you like our flags. And, as you know, this is a large financial investment for downtown San Angelo, and we have put a lot of thought into it. We're really, you kind of pinged on something that we're really being mindful of, that, this project is highlighting things to do in downtown and that we're not playing favoritism to businesses and, causing any kind of conflict with that. We do hope to have different banners, maybe for the holidays in the future and potentially sponsorships, but we have to figure out what's fair for that. We are also testing material and making sure that the designs print right on the material and that they can be viewed from, passerbys. And so, like I said, we are putting a lot of thought to make sure that this investment really makes sense for downtown. And we're so excited that you guys are happy. So, thank you.
Good job, thank you. Any other comment? Nope, okay. Our last announcements, the next meeting, regular meeting of the Design and Historic Review Commission is scheduled to begin on Thursday, February 20th, 2025 at 10 a.m. in the East Mezzanine of City Hall at 72 West College Avenue. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second? Motion passes. We're done. Thank you.